How many times have you been in a situation when someone is asking you to do something, but you think, I really shouldn't do this, but I feel so bad saying no? You're faced with a decision. Do you say no and feel guilty, or do you say yes and you feel stressed or even resentful? Saying no is one of the most difficult words to say, but in this video, I'm going to give you an easy tip that allows you to say no without the guilt. My name's Laura, founder of Hope Made Strong. We equip you and your ministry team as you support and care for others in your community. The other night, I was reading to my kids Lauren Numeroff's book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. If you haven't read it yet, it's about a little boy who's visited by a mouse and he offers him a cookie. The mouse then asks for a glass of milk and then continues to make request after request after request to the now exhausted little boy. There are times that I can so relate to that little boy. Like many of you, I'm a caregiver both as a vocation and in my personal life. So at times I feel like I am being bombarded with requests. There's so many needs, there just isn't enough time or energy to meet them all. I end up exhausted trying to keep up. But this isn't the example we're given by Jesus. In Luke 5, Jesus had a similar experience where he was surrounded by needs. He healed a man who had leprosy and asked him to tell no one, but show himself to the priest. The man, who was likely overwhelmed with joy, went and told a lot of people. This triggered a crowd of people to surround Jesus, asking to be healed of their ailments. It says in Scripture that when Jesus was surrounded by a crowd of people, he left them and withdrew to be by himself and to pray. Jesus didn't stay and meet their needs. He left them standing there sick, broken, and tired. I can't even imagine that, just walking away from the crowd of people who were in need. Jesus set a boundary of what he was able to do at that time, and he did no more. Jesus chose to say yes to spending time with God and no to the crowds of people needing healing. For most people in the helping profession and ministry, it is very, very difficult to say no to a person in need. However, Jesus did it. In specific times, Jesus said no to people and yes to spending time alone, resting and refueling in time and prayer. So let's use Jesus' example for saying no. Rather than feeling guilty about saying no to someone, instead, choose what you're going to say yes to. Because when you say yes to someone in need, you're saying no to something else. When you stay late at work to talk to someone needing support, you're saying no to time at home with your family. When you say yes to going to hang out with your kids, you're saying no to the work that you'd be doing at that time. Saying yes to one thing is saying no to another. So, intentionally choose what you're going to say yes to. Forever and ever and ever, we will have people needing and wanting from us. Discerning appropriate boundaries for what we need when we need time to refuel and rest is godly. So the next time someone asks you for help and you feel like you need to say no, tell the person what you're going to say yes to. You can say, I'm really sorry. I promised my family that I would be home in time for dinner tonight. Can I catch up with you tomorrow? Or you could say, I've already committed to finishing a project this week for someone else. Let's touch base next week. 9 times out of 10, the person requesting your help will honor your commitment and not feel rejected. And you can walk away honoring your commitment and not feel guilty. So if saying no is a real challenge for you, tell them what you're going to say yes to. I've created a cheat sheet that you can download that offers 3 more tips on how to say no with grace. Click the link in the show notes below and get that free download. Thanks for connecting and take care.